Hey everyone, this is Jessie Lovell in HCI 460 Group 9 alongside Shivangi Singh and Alicia Crampton. And we did our project this quarter on the MedicalJane website. MedicalJane is an educational website primarily. It's essentially kind of a centralized repository for, cannabis education. There's lots of resources on there, specifically kind of tailored for people who are suffering from chronic pain and or illnesses. There's, kind of a plethora of information from strains of cannabis to tips for cooking, types of application methods, any alternative methods for consumption and kind of how to utilize medical cannabis for whatever specific ailment you have. So we had a couple different options for potential users of the MedicalJane website. Of course, there's lots of different applications. However, the one that we landed on would be just the novice user. Obviously, they have to be 18 or older, but given the type of information and the amount of information on the MedicalJane website, we decided that it fits more so the person with, maybe pre-existing medical conditions who are specifically interested in using medical marijuana to improve kind of the effects of their condition on their daily life. In addition to that, we also identified that a lot of these people are probably looking for more of a natural approach to healing. They're specifically interested in alternative medicine, and they're looking for information on kind of the best ways to appropriately manage maybe their condition or maybe some of the symptoms associated with their condition, and looking for information regarding that specifically. At the beginning of this project, each team member went through the MedicalJane website and conducted a heuristic evaluation, looking for specific usability problems that could really negatively impact our users. We then came together and decided on kind of top 3 usability problems that we kind of wanted to focus on for this project. So the first one that we identified is just the overall design aesthetic of the website. It's pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of information on the website, and I think that that needs to take precedence over some of the information. There's lots of, external links. There's lots of ads, and all of those things can make it more difficult for users to actually pinpoint what they're looking for and find it within a page. In addition to that, we also identified that, given the amount of information on the MedicalJane website, it could be really valuable to have an FAQ page, and something that's easily accessible. While there is an FAQ page, it's not very accessible, and beyond that page, there isn't too much other information that helps users kind of pinpoint what it is that they're looking for. And then lastly, we identified the navigation as being somewhat problematic as well. There's lots of different layers of navigation. So there's kind of the main topics, and then there's subcategories within those sections as well. And some of the language within the navigation is inconsistent and makes it kind of difficult to find information and then also recover from errors.
After heuristic evaluation, we performed cognitive walkthrough on 3 specific tasks. First, find the FAQs for new researchers or first-time user. Second, navigate to the medical marijuana events page. And third, creating an account for the first-time users. Right now, I'm going to elaborate on each task. First, for finding the FAQs. So during the cognitive walkthrough, users scanned the page and navigate for a FAQs button and ended up scrolling to the bottom of the page. They overlooked the FAQ link in the second sub navigation, and this is one of the issue that can potentially impact first time users from finding the FAQs. Second one is navigate to the medical marijuana events page. Similar to the FAQ page, users attempted to find the ideal path to the events page. While the user was able to successfully navigate to the medical marijuana events page, they did not take the intended path and were visibly confused and frustrated by the users. And the last one, creating an account for the first time users. This task was successfully completed by the users, but little information was provided to users, which seems little odd comparatively with other websites while creating an account. In cognitive walkthrough, we come across that the navigation paths are hidden, the overall design is cluttered, and FAQs aren't easily accessible. So we come up with the usability test plan to understand if users can effectively and efficiently navigate throughout the website. So in usability testing, we recruited a total of 5 participants through CDM participant pool and through our personal connection, and asked each of them to perform 6 tasks, including finding events, finding recipes, locating the FAQs, information on anxiety, and creating an account. So for conducting moderated usability test, we come up with 6 test objectives for each of the 6 tasks, and we ask all the 5 participants to go through all the 6 tasks. Overall, the study showed a high success rate and no significant errors while performing each task. While there are areas for improvement, only 1 out of 5 participants expressed overall dissatisfaction and overwhelmed during the evaluation process. So, on the basis of participants' feedback, recommendations based on severity level are offered to improve the usability of MedicalJane, and only 3 major recommendations were found from the 5 participants across 6 tasks.
Here are visual representations and rough mock-ups of how we would bring our recommendations to life on the MedicalJane website. You see in the first mock-up, we added the login sign-up button next to the search bar to be more accessible for users. In the second mock-up, we added events to the main navigation to allow users to quickly access this information. The third mock-up shows the addition of FAQs in the footer, as 4 out of 5 participants navigated to the website footer as their first action when trying to find the FAQs, and creating a direct link here would meet their expectations. After completing our usability testing, we created a within-subject comparative study between MedicalJane and a similar website and competitor Leafly. We chose the test objective that focused on locating the FAQs and how satisfied users would be with the location of them. After examining the Leafly website and noticing they had FAQs in their footer, we thought it would be interesting to see if this location made user satisfaction higher. We launched an unmoderated test using user Zoom, and after a lot of participants had technical issues using the tool, and after trying other tools to continue to do unmoderated testing, we ended up switching to moderated testing. This gave us 9 participants through user Zoom and 11 through Zoom video sharing to be able to get a total of 20 participants. After completing our comparative study with 20 participants, we found an overall higher satisfaction rating when users completed the same task of finding the FAQs on the Leafly website compared to MedicalJane. These findings were aligned with that of the heuristic evaluation, cognitive walkthrough, and usability testing that we did throughout the project. It only assured us that our recommendation for adding a direct link in the footer would improve user satisfaction and make navigating to the FAQs easier. We included an alternative in our recommendation to also have the FAQs in the main navigation bar and its own topic. since after trying to find the FAQs in the footer, that was the next place users looked for that information. We are Group 9, and our team consists of Jesse, Shivangi, and Alicia. We are all in different stages of the HCI program and have different backgrounds as far as school and work experience. It was fun for each of us to bring unique strengths and skills to each part of the overall project. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about our testing, findings, and recommendations for the MedicalJane website.